can you tell me about the event today? What are we doing here?
Today is kind of a vigil / protest to talk about the rollbacks on LGBTQ rights and basically just like the attack on trans folks and drag queens right now. Like it's really wild what's going on in Tennessee. So yeah, we're just trying to like activate everybody and also celebrate the life of Paris, who was a black trans woman who just died under mysterious circumstances in Brooklyn, I believe. Like they found her body and nobody's really talking about it. So I think that's the main reason why we're here, but also like to really activate people about what's going on in Tennessee. I've just been very frustrated watching people kind of have this surprised energy about the fact that corporations are being very quiet around these rollbacks, and it's just not a surprise. You know, every year in June it's all Pride Month and everybody shows up and everybody's throwing parties and doing interviews and taking photos, and then the rest of the year, you know, nobody's showing up. And like since 2020, there have been activists, predominantly black, queer, and trans activists out here in the streets organizing every week, and less of us have shown up since 2020. And I think that is a part of why we're where we are right now, because we should have been showing up with this much anger from the jump, like since 2020. And I think that like watching it kind of trickle down, it's interesting to me how like now that like drag is starting to be banned, like a lot of people are really standing up about this because a large portion of the community is being affected, and trans folks have been under attack like forever. So I just hope that like from here on out, everyone is showing up every day with this same fervor, with this same anger, with this same passion for everybody. And like I am really glad to see people getting activated and starting to show up and speak out and use their leverage to get these corporations to like acknowledge what's going on. But you know, it's frustrating to like have been out here marching like since 2020 and not seeing some of these people show up then. You know, like we've been out here all year round. People are like every week, you know, and it's just like, where's everybody? You know, so I just really hope and encourage everyone, anybody who's watching this or anybody who, you know, follows me or whatever, like now's the time. Like we don't have any more time to waste. Like it shouldn't have gotten to this point, so like we have to do everything we can to change it. So.
And kind of the last point, you said that it's been predominantly black and brown people that have been showing up to these rallies.
Yep.
Why is it, you know, predominantly black community that's showing up?
I think it's because we're the most at risk. Like black queer folks, black trans folks specifically, like are the most at risk with these laws, are the most at risk in the streets. Like they're targeted, and so it's kind of like we don't have a choice because we're under fire. So like we can't go back to work and just like sit while it's like calm, because it's never calm for us.
Not you. How are you?
Are you the person who made a flyer?
I drew the flyer, obviously. Yeah. Shut up. Amazing.
Hi.
This
Oh
is
my God. Hi.
Hi, good to see you as well.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. No, what the actual fuck?
What the
like,
fuck?
As a trans woman, I'm like, how many of my sisters do I have to? It makes me want to cry right now. Like, how many do I have to bury? It's exhausting. It's tragic. But Paris would want me to. She would want me to stay strong. She would want me to like speak her name and have others speak her name. So. She was my house sister. We were both in the ballroom scene together. She was being that I'm so tall, she was a very little person, but she had the biggest personality in the entire world, and she loved Little Kim. Like that was her idol. She idolized Little Kim, and she had that kind of presence that just like made you want to know her. Like she was just so vivacious, so kind, so sweet. And she just, like many black trans women, she was mistreated most of her life. She didn't have access to resources that she should have had access to. And she just fell down a wrong path. But that doesn't take away from who she is. She was a wonderful person, and her life mattered. So, and I appreciate you both coming.
Of course, always.
Oh my God, no, seriously, I love the picture that you made of her. Like,
It's so funny, I stepped up right when you were saying Lil' Kim was her inspiration. It's like she did not have the bang.
Yeah,
like
very
it
bad.
was like very
She
bad.
always had a bang, honey.
Anyone want to grab a poster?
So today we are here on International Women's Day, a day where we are supposed to celebrate the fierce achievements of women, but the Black trans community and Black trans women, we are forced again to memorialize a community member by the name of Paris Aminah, Diary of Unspoken Truth. And it is important that we say her whole name because that was her name. And it is important that we acknowledge the bravery that it takes to live in our truth, to go by such a bold name, to be amongst and live in a world that fills us with struggle. But we are here to celebrate the life of Paris with community members. We should not have to be here, but it's important that we are here. For so long, people within our community have gone without memorializing their lives with dignity, but we will do that.
My name is Eliel Cruz. I'm an organizer here in the city. I do communications work. Yeah.
And can you tell me what brings you out here today?
I'm here to gather in community to remember Paris, although I didn't know her personally. Anytime there's any kind of violence in New York City, especially queer people or people of color, it's important for me to show up. I think about myself if I were ever to be harmed, either hate violence or by the police. I would want someone to show up and be in community. I would want people to protest and burn shit down. So I think it's important to, when we see calls like this for community to show up, that we take the time out of our schedule and we show up and join each other in this kind of space. There's always going to be points of crisis, of points that things become really intense and a lot of people come to show out, right? We don't see the same amount of people showing out every single time, even though there are vigils and rallies quite regularly in a city like New York City, both to like pass legislation and to show up for things like this. But you know, I think as we see with more legislation showing up or more kind of violence coming in people can no longer ignore it, I think we'll end up hopefully seeing more and more people take the streets because it takes us showing up for things to actually change, and sharing things on our social media is not nearly enough. Finding ways to get connected and organize is the way to make actual change. So I'm really happy to show up and support other organizers like folks from Black Trans Liberation who have continued from 2020 to have morphed their organizing from weekly protests to this kitchen to showing up and being able to organize rallies. I think it's really beautiful, and I think more people should find ways to organize in their community to make changes in whatever kind of wherever you have power, wherever you have influence. I brought 2-3 friends with me today, even though it's not my rally, because it's important to bring people along with us. So whether you're part of a nonprofit or whether you're just like an active citizen, I think as things get worse for queer people in particular, it's not a matter of whether you're an activist or whether you're not. It's a matter of what are you doing in your power to make change, because we need all of us. Yeah.
Posters as we begin our memorial service. I would like to bring before you Qween Jean, our leader, our mother, our aunt, our everything. Can you please share a few words with us this evening? Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Qween!
We're gonna bring some love into this room.
Yes.
This is our room, this is our park, this is our city. 400 bills signed against us. Say her name. Paris Aminah, Diary, Unspoken Truth.
Paris Aminah, Diary, Unspoken Truth.
Say it again. Paris Aminah, Diary, Unspoken Truth. Say it again.
Paris Aminah, Diary, Unspoken Truth.
Housing Work should be ashamed of themselves. should be ashamed of themselves, but here's the trick. They will deflect all shit. No cameras, that's a problem. No security, that's a problem. No 48-hour check-in, that's a problem. When you see somebody's not being seen, you go check in on them. That's how we do. We check in on each other. With 400 bills being signed against us, we would have to think this is starting to look like genocide. This is what the Holocaust looked like for the Jews back in the days. And we, trans people, gay people, are losing our lives every day. We have to be clear. We have to fight. Fight for a purpose. Do something for real. Vote. Be a part of the process. Make them motherfuckers see what we look like and who we are and how we taste. I was a sex worker. I am a sex worker. I will always be a sex worker. I may not be selling ass or head anymore, but damn it, I'm selling something. We need to remember, this country was built off the backs of sex workers. I need you to know this little girl did not die in vain, because we're going to fight for her. We're going to fight for her. Now, here's the shame. Last year, this time, there's another place that belongs to Housing Works in Brooklyn. There was a young woman, a woman of God, a trans woman. She died the same time last year. So I want y'all to know this is not by some mystery. This is literally happening in our faces. We're being forgotten and erased and forgotten. We're being talked about and written about. There are councilwomen and senators and people voting against us. We will not vote against ourselves. We will stand up. We will stand out. We will be proud. We will be black. We will be people of color. We will be everything to fight for each other. I don't want to see another one of us die. I don't want to say another motherfucking name, but we have to be clear. They're trying to make us say our names over and over again. Let's do something about this. Let's get the feds involved. Here's a good idea. Let's sue the government on a national level. As a group of people, we can do it. A mass lawsuit for human rights against the law. I love you. Take care of each other. Check in. Check in. Check in on your sisters, on your brothers, and fight for their lives, because they're worth fighting for. Thank you.
I'm originally from Guyana, and because of my sexual orientation, that's one of the main reasons I have migrated here, to live my true self and be who I choose to be, who I feel comfortable in being. And incidents like this ripped us apart all over. There's words not there to express how painful and hard it is, because every individual that identifies as a trans person, when something goes wrong with them, it's just like it goes wrong to the whole community. That's how we feel. We as a community, we support each other and we bind together as one. And in events like this, it's heartbreaking, it's very painful, and we try to mourn those that we lost and help us to be strong to, overcome the next day, knowing that that could have been us and we are the next person, but we just don't know when, because justice is not served. We as human beings, the law says that inequality for everyone, but yet we, the trans community, does not feel comfortable, and we have not feel secure throughout and being respected the way we should be respected, the way we have respected ourselves. So it's very hard, it's touching, it's a moment of sadness, it's always a pain as the days goes by, because we do not know what we will hear tomorrow morning on the news or the newspaper. And there's so much things that are happening throughout the world, all over the places, that you don't know about, that doesn't give account on the record. And there's so much that people have been living with, and they have no justice, not only here in New York, but all part of the world. So it's painful, it's touching, and when we share support to one, it doesn't mean that we share that support to that particular one that we're grieving for the present moment, but all those that passed a long time, that came before us and paved the way for us to be here today. I had to migrate it because of my sexual orientation, because I have been victimized tremendously. I have had terrible experience. I lose my life like twice. There were times I think I had passed away. As you can see, this is a constant reminder of an incident that happened many years ago, and I thought I was dead already for many hours. And then when I had catch myself, that's when I realized that I still have life in it, and that's one of the main reason that I had to migrate. It wasn't an if or but. There wasn't choice there anymore, because I have faced a lot of other bad incident, being beaten and been robbed, been stabbed and all these things. But with this incident here, it was a gang and it was very bad. And the only place that I could have come to feel safe and comfortable, it's New York. And then there are incidents that happen presently now, like you ask yourself, where can you be free? Knowing that you have a trans sister out there who have lost their life recently, and you find so much question. I have questioned myself a lot with these incidents. Like, where else will I go? Where can I run from here? I hope and trust in God that there will be no downfall of incident that I have to face anymore, because I can't face any more trauma in my life. And I think I'm happy and safe. I'm living the best life that I could live in my body. But at the end of the day, I tell myself I'm lucky, because when incidents like this occurred, it flashed back to me what I have been through. And then I ask myself, am I safe here in New York? I can't answer that question for myself.
What about the legislations that are happening all over the US at the moment?
Well, at that part, I am traumatized. It's stressful. I looked at it, I burst in tears when I saw these things, and I'm asking myself, are we moving forward or are we moving backward? What happened to all those that lose their life for us to be here today, that paved the way? Is it in vain? When justice will serve? Like, we will ask those that we have hold accountability to put them in charge of the offices and all the different desks, that let them remember themselves that they're not only there because they're chosen to be there. We put them there. We the people that voted and make the choice, and we have elected people to serve us, not to bash us down.
Well, hi, I'm Tiffany Jade Monroe. I'm the Trans Justice Coordinator for Caribbean Equality Project. I'm 27 years old, and I'm originally from Guyana, South America.
Didn't we meet at the...
Yes, I did. Yeah.
You had a long hair.
Yes, I think so.
This was like you were very fresh in New York.
Yes,
right?
yes. Oh my gosh,
Hi,
yes.
It's so good to see you. I didn't recognize you.
I know, right? I literally just did my facial surgery, so I look so different now.
You look very different. I actually just ran into another person who was from Ghana as well.
I think that was Amy. She's a part of the organization as well.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Well, I just wanted to. I mean, it's an obvious thing, but I just wanted to see, why you're here today.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm so tired. Being the Trans Justice Coordinator for Caribbean Equality Project, and being here in the United States, it's better, honestly, than where my home country is. But then again, you still have to fight, and we're still fighting. We're still fighting for equality. We're still fighting to be alive. And in my mind, I just do not want to be added to a say their names list. And it's so heartbreaking and so heart-rendering that this could happen. And when is it going to end? We go to all these events, we rally, we protest, and yet still, when is the change going to come? And, honestly, I'm still going to fight. I'm still going to fight for that equality for us. And I'm just honestly tired of this situation.
So, how does something like this, where a trans woman dies, correlate with, a bunch of legislations that just recently came out and were signed into law, like, it being illegalized, performing like in drag in public in Tennessee.
Honestly, it definitely connects because you're threatening all of us. We're all a part of the LGBTQ plus, and especially all the new legislations for the trans community, especially trans minors. And for you to tell a parent that if they allow their child to access hormone therapy, that they're abusing their child, that is so ridiculous. Then why are we as human beings bringing kids into this earth when we can't even do the things that we want for our kids? The government is deciding what is right and what is not right for our children, which is ridiculous. And everything just is, it's all like interconnected, as I said. Like, we're all a part of the community. And all the stuff that is happening is just an attack on all of us. No one is safe anymore. Like, we're no longer safe anymore. Whether you're trans, whether you're a drag performer, whether you're a lesbian, you're gay, you're bisexual, you're queer. Once you're part of the spectrum, they are attacking us. And we have to come together and we all have to fight this. It's all connected. And that's why we need our allies. We can all rally as community, but we also have allies, and we need the support from our allies. All the council members, all these members that are allies for the community, they need to stand up more for the community. We definitely need our allies, and we definitely need to be there to put up that front as a united community. Because anything that happens, we still support. Whether it's Black Lives Matter, we say all lives matter. We say trans lives matter. We say Black trans lives matter. When all of those stuff happens to the community, we still show up. When Roe versus Wade happened, we still showed up for that. We were out there, and we've been given support, and we've always been fighting for the same rights we're all fighting for. And all we're asking for is equality. All we are asking for is to be loved and to live. Like, I literally want to live. Like, it's so sad that we all have to come together as a community for these sad times. And we should be living. We should be living our lives and enjoying our lives. But instead, we're being killed in dramatic and traumatizing numbers. And it's so ridiculous.
So on behalf of our community and on behalf of the love that we have poured into this space, into this legendary, iconic park, we remember you, Paris, and we thank you for walking the line and doing what needed to be done in this fight. We love you. Thank you so much. Send up your balloons, darling. Love you! Woo!